Guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to 2022, guys. It's been a crazy year, 2021. We got to some crazy heights, as you guys seen, and documented my journey and stuff like that. So welcome to 2022, guys. Feels good to be back. I haven't actually dropped a video in a long time. I said I was going to drop a video before New Year's. Things got kind of hectic, that sort of stuff. I've been kind of just relaxing. I took a couple of, I think it was like 10 days or something like that off. Kind of had like a holiday. I don't really have many holidays. I don't really need holidays. I kind of built a lifestyle that I don't need a holiday from. I know that's like one of those cliche quotes. But anyway, guys, in today's video, as you can see from the title, I'm actually going to be giving you a practical breakdown on how you can genuinely quit your job using SMMA. So I know that a lot of you guys are seeing the whole, what's going on with the world, and you're seeing that job security isn't really as secure as you think. There's people being furloughed over here in the UK. There's people losing their jobs. There's people that have been working for companies for literally years on end, and now they don't have a job. They're relying on the next man, if you will. So I'm not a big believer in that. But first and foremost, I just want to preface this by saying, look, if you're in a job that you genuinely enjoy, obviously, and that's genuinely the career that you want to pursue, I recommend obviously not quitting that job. The second thing I need to kind of break down in this video is that I don't want you guys just going out there and quitting your job straight away. That is not a smart move. I don't want to be held responsible for that. But I know a lot of you guys are wondering, and you girls as well are wondering, is it possible to actually quit your job with SMMA, that sort of stuff? How would you actually go about doing it? What is the actual most practical steps in order to do that? So I'm gonna might as well, because I get asked this question a lot, I might as well give you a practical guide on how to genuinely do that. Now, I'm not just saying go out there tomorrow or today and just go and quit your job straight away if you're not in a financial place to do so. So I'm actually going to give you a few kind of pointers here on how you can genuinely do that. If you see me looking over here, it's just because I've got a couple of notes as well. You guys know how I do on this channel. Not very not very professional, but I guess the value I still bring to some people is quite amazing, because people are actually landing clients and stuff like that. So first and foremost, I just want to quickly show you that this video right here is not me just talking theory. I've actually had 2 students within the last like 2-3 weeks or something like that come into one of my programs and actually quit their job. I'll give you an example. So Freddie, right? Freddie came into the program. He's the same dude that went and closed that 4.1k per month client in Bitcoin. So he came to the program, and within 3 weeks, he already closed a client from Upwork in Bitcoin, which was a 4.1k per month client. So $4,100 US, but he was paid in Bitcoin. It was like just under 4.1k, put it that way. It's basically 4.1k if you round it up. So he was able to quit his job after 2 months and actual 8 days of joining the actual program, Agency Tramitation. This is not a plug for Agency Tramitation. I'm just showing you this is not theory. This is actual practical stuff people are genuinely done. I'm going to show you how you basically go and replicate this and what I would do if I was to work a job. I haven't ever worked a job in my life, but this is exactly what I would do, and this is exactly what my students have done as well. Something on this particular line is very similar, if you will. Then the second student, by the way, I'll throw the screenshots up of all this as I'm going along. So the second student I had was Cameron. Cameron came into the program, right? And within 3 days, it was actually in a week and a half, excuse me. So Cameron came into the program within a week and a half, call it 10 days, 11 days, or whatever it was. He came into the program, he already closed 3 clients. So a week and a half, comes into a brand new program, actually quit his job on the 17th. Then he joined the program on the 18th of December. By the time he joined the 18th of December, I think it was like 3 days. It was actually a week and a half after that. He already closed 3 clients. He closed his first client in 3 days. That's what I was trying to say. He's closed his first client in 3 days. I know this sounds confusing. So he came into the program, quit his job on the 17th, came to the program on the 18th. By the time he jumped into the program, on his 3rd day in the program, he closed his first client. Then he went on to close 3 clients within that first week and a half of actually joining the program. Then on January the 6th, so that's 2 weeks and 5 days since joining the program, he had already replaced his income from the job that he left on the 17th of December. Absolutely insane. I'll throw some more screenshots of people like going from 0 to 2k really quickly, so you can probably see a couple of screenshots that I'm putting up right now from the program. So is this stuff actually genuinely possible to quit your job using SMMA and using Upwork and stuff like that? The answer is obviously yes. These are real people. You can go and DM these people. I've left their names up there for a purpose. You can actually go and ask them, like, how did you do it? What was your verdict? But I'm going to give you a very practical standpoint on how you can actually quit your job. And again, again, this is not for people that don't want to quit their job. So if you're in a job that you actually genuinely want, I don't know why you're watching this, unless you secretly want to quit your job, that is. You might be watching this because you want to secretly quit your job. If you don't want to quit your job, don't watch this. If you're happy with your particular job, don't watch this. If you are using this job to build up the skills to go into a different career and you actually have to genuinely do that, then obviously don't quit your job. If you're in a financial position right now where you can't quit your job, don't do that. So first and foremost, I just want to kind of break this down real quick. The first thing you need to do is work out your monthly expenses. Now I'm going to throw a screenshot up on the screen, or some sort of screen recording of my monthly expenses plug and play sheet. You can get this for free. I'll put the link below, but basically just go to agenttransmutation.com, do the whole opt-in thing, favor for a favor, if you will, and you can actually get this particular expenses sheet given to you for completely free. I'll just give this to you for completely free. It's a very good sheet to work out your business expenses and your personal expenses. Now, what you actually want to do, guys, and this is very, very, very smart, you want to work out all of your expenses. So just literally list every single expense that you have. And this is the first step of quitting your job. You need to first of all figure out how much you need to live on, as in like how much money do you genuinely need to make in order to replace your income to actually live a comfortable life, so that you're actually, able to afford certain things, your rent, that sort of stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit down, use this sheet. You're going to work out all your business expenses, you're going to work out your personal expenses, and then you're going to factor in tax. Remember, people, we are getting taxed. So you need to figure out how much revenue you need to make, how much profit you need to make, and then profit after tax. Don't forget tax, guys. So this is a good sheet to kind of break down exactly what all your expenses are. And then what I like to do is I like to times my expenses by 3. So you want at least 3 to 6 months. I would actually say 6 to 9 months of expenses. If you can do 12 months of expenses, that's obviously very, very good. But I don't think most people can genuinely do that. At this particular point, don't worry if you're not at that point yet, you will get there. I've got there, way past that at this particular point. Literally like 10 years of expenses I've actually got, or something crazy on those lines. But long story short, guys, what you want to do is you want to work out all your expenses. This sheet right here, I'll probably thrown it already up, or I'm looking at it right now, but I'm probably throwing it up on the actual screen. Whenever you change something or input a different expense, it kind of calculates how much money you actually need per month. Then it will show you like a 3-month breakdown, a 6-month breakdown, a 12-month breakdown, and like a 3-year breakdown on how much you actually need in your bank account. This is the first thing. I want you guys to securely quit your job. If you're gonna quit your job, you might as well do it securely. As in, make sure that you have at least 6 months of expenses in your bank account that you can actually physically get your hands on. That's liquid, if you will. If you actually need to draw that out, you can actually do that and actually use it. Don't forget emergencies as well. This is something I recommend. Don't forget to factor in taxes. So have 6 months of expenses, but have a little bit more. Factor in taxes and factor in some sort of an emergency. Emergencies always pop up, guys. Don't forget that. There's always going to be a rainy day, so make sure that you have a little bit more. Then the second thing I'm going to give to you guys is the reverse engineering sheet. So again, the link below, go to the link below, it will tell you how to get the actual reverse engineering outreach sheet. Now, this is the second step you need to take. So first of all, you figured out your expenses and how much you need to make in order to replace your income, in terms of how much you're making now with your job, how much are your expenses using that particular sheet. Then figure out how much you genuinely need in order to replace your job, what you're going to be comfortable with. Obviously, I can't figure out this number for you. You have to figure that number out for yourself. You need to figure it out using, what are you actually paying for? Do you have a phone bill? Do you have, do you have to pay for gas? Do you have a car? Do you have to pay your monthly payments on a car? Do you have to pay rent? Do you have to pay electricity? Have you got business expenses such as Lemlist, acuity scheduling, first line writers, an accountant, for example? You need to figure out all your expenses, put it in this particular sheet. It will pull out your number for you. Then put your personal and business expenses together in one thing. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have at least 6 to 9 months. I would say 6 to 9 months to be fair. 6 months is very, very good. 9 months obviously even better. 3 months is probably like the very, very bare minimum if you're kind of like risk. It depends on how risk adverse you are and kind of like how much risk you're willing to take and stuff like that. I would say 6 months though, to be honest with you. 6 months is bang on. Then what you do is you want to figure out how many clients you actually need in order to actually get to making that said figure. So what I recommend you do, guys, is aim for, let's say your expenses are $2,000 per month, for example. What I would recommend is timesing that by 3. If you can't afford it 3 times over, you can't afford it. That's kind of like a motto I like to live by. So if you've got expenses, business plus personal equals $2,000 per month, what I would do is I would aim for $6,000 per month. So that would be my initial goal for a 90-day period. That would be my 90-day period kind of like initial goal. Then what you can do is you can use the reverse engineering tracking sheet, the outreach sheet that I'm actually going to pop up on the screen. That, when you actually start putting in what your actual goals are, how much you're actually going to be outsourcing the work for, how much you're going to be charging for your particular services, with SMMA, then it actually will show you how much outreach you need to do per day, how much outreach you need to do per hour, and what you genuinely need to do to put the inputs in order to get that output. So how much outreach you genuinely need to do and what the actions are in order to actually go about landing those clients. Then what you do is just go ahead and start implementing that work. This is literally mathematics, guys. It's that there is no wishy-washy, oh, I hope I can get this, I hope I can get that. This is actual science. We're breaking it down. You need to make, 6K per month. To get to 6K per month, we need to do X amount of outreach, because X amount of outreach is going to generate X amount of calls. Out of those calls, I have a 20% close rate, or whatever your close rate is. Then that will actually, equate to, if I have this amount of calls per week, I'm going to close this amount of clients per month. You see how it works, guys? It's all about reverse engineering this particular goal of yours. But this guide right here is exactly how I would go about if I had a job, figuring out how much I need to make, how much I actually need to make in order to replace my income, and how I would go about actually doing this. And again, I've had 2 students do this within the last, just back to back, within the last 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or whatever it is, the last month, something like that. I probably just already thrown it on the screen earlier in this video. But guys, this is a very practical way on how to quit your job. I'm going to keep this very, very short. But again, both of those sheets are available below. These are very, very solid assets that if you take seriously, you can genuinely quit your job. There's people that have done this. I know that a lot of people are going out there. You actually start an agency because you want that time freedom, you want that financial freedom, and you want that, location freedom. With a job, you just cannot get that. Not only that, but it's not really secure, and people are starting to see that these days. People have, the whole, I'm not gonna say it, so probably I'm not really monetizing my channel anyway, but I just don't like saying it anyway. I just don't even like it being in my conscience, if you will. But you know what's going on with the world, guys. People are being really shaken up by that, and they're starting to realize that this job thing is not what it seems to be. It's not really as secure as people thought it would be. It is. I've seen a lot of people go through a lot of tough times, and now they actually want to start a business. So this right here, guys, is a very practical standpoint on how to go about quitting your job. I just want to put this out there because there is a science behind it. There is maths behind it. I don't recommend just going and quitting your job and then just starting a business. I actually recommend getting it to work first, getting actual in your bank account at least 6 months before you leave. Even when you get your SMMA up to 6K, I still would recommend, or whatever your number is, by the way, I would still recommend having your monthly expenses at least 6 months in your actual bank account before leaving, even if you have your agency on the side. So I still recommend keeping your job and building your agency. So keep your job, build your agency on the side, and then figure out how to, quit once you've got that 6 months of income in your bank account. Now that does mean that I guess there would probably be a next stage, because now we've got the expenses. Let me just quickly break this down. So now you've got the actual goal. What are your expenses? How much you're making from your job right now? Then you figured out how much outreach you need to do in order to replace your income. Then the next thing you need to do is, if you're going to juggle both your work and SMMA on the side, what you would do then is you would actually create a calendar. So you can actually go and create a calendar on Google Sheets. Just create a calendar and break down when you're working and when your off days are, or figure out what your daily schedule looks like, and then slot in when you're going to do your Upwork outreach or your SMMA outreach or your cold email outreach, or depending on whatever outreach it is. That's how you go about leveraging and working around a job in order to replace that particular job. So guys, it's a very practical standpoint. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and by the way, I'm actually only taking on, I know a lot of you actually always ask me about this, I'm only taking on around 5 new students for the one-to-one program this particular month. I'm building out agency transmutation just heavily over these next 90 days. I'm kind of going into a 90-day month mode. We're actually restarting it on Monday. I'm actually shooting this on Saturday, the 8th of January, kind of late as well. But I'm actually going into monk mode, just straight on Monday. I kind of was in monk mode. I had my dad's birthday and stuff like that, so I kind of came out of it a little bit. I kind of cheated, so I'm resetting it to properly start on Monday. And from the 90 days, I'm just going to focus all on agency transmutation, which means my time's going to be filled up. I can only have 5 students because it actually genuinely is a live program where we sit down for an hour each week and actually scale your business together, basically. And there's a new guarantee that I'm using. This guarantee, I've made it completely impossible for you to fail. Here's the new guarantee that I'm offering to people. This is brand new, not even released. This is probably the first time I'm actually mentioning this on my YouTube channel. Yeah, it definitely is 100% the first time. I'm implementing a new guarantee, which is, if you do not land clients through my one-to-one program, I will continuously work with you for free, continuously each and every week, continuously, until you land clients. That is literally the craziest guarantee I've ever heard. I'm literally willing to do that just because I believe strongly in my systems, my processes. I also believe in, actually doing good work and providing back to people, and actually, genuinely giving what I say I'm going to give, which is, make it helping you guys land clients. So guys, if you're interested in a one-to-one program, again, the link, I'll make it abundantly clear what link to click, and we'll jump on a call and see if you're a good fit for that, because obviously the guarantee is kind of crazy. I want to make sure that I'm only taking on serious people, so it's only going to hurt me in the long run. So that being said though, guys, working on age limitation, hope you guys are doing well. Got some big goals for this particular year. I feel like 2022 is going to be a huge year. Hope you guys are doing well, and hope you guys are motivated and ready to scale, honestly. That being said though, guys, see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are new around here, drop a little, turn on a little notification bell. Oh, and send me a DM as well on Instagram if you're just inquiring about anything, or if you have any questions about anything. I'm still happy to help you guys, and it is me actually answering my DMs. But anyway, guys, that being said, love to all of you guys. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Happy holidays. You guys had a good break and you're back to work now. So that being said, see you guys in the next video. Peace.